Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Year one of the franchise, as it says up there in the top right corner. And here we are in the wild card round. Now let me give you a little bit of a kind of a recap of what happened those last couple of weeks of the season. Effectively, we were looking good. The Los Angeles Life, as they are to be known, were looking good. We had won 3 games in a row after going basically win-lose, 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 win-lose over and over again for a couple of weeks. This is being live streamed on twitch.tv/joebush.net. In fact, I should say something on Twitter. Damn it. Okay, my fingers are not reaching the buttons. That's not good. I'm using the 2 computers set up as you do. This is a stream archive. So, hopefully I'm also going to post this in the old Skype group. Hold on one moment. I'm just going to kind of talk about what happened. Basically, we were looking good. We were looking like the best team. Looking like we could possibly win the NFC, or at least end up first place in the National Football Conference. So, I mean, I was feeling okay about it. And then we got to the last 2 weeks of the season, played against Seattle and lost handily against Seattle, and then played against, God, who was that last team? Philadelphia. And we didn't lose handily against Philadelphia, but we were in kind of a tough position the entire game. It was a close game. We could have won if we had really been a little bit better at it. If we had made some plays down the stretch, there would have been a different result. But unfortunately, this is what we ended up with, was a wild card position. This, I believe, will be a home game because we are the first place team in the wild card. The best case scenario late in the season, though, was effectively first place home field advantage. That's not good. That screen that just went up there with all the stars, I don't like that. I can think of a lot of things that I would like better to see than that. So this is going to be an uphill battle the whole game. We're going to go kick. And yeah, we are playing a team that is feasibly better than us, but we have beaten better teams, and we have lost to worse teams because this season has been an up and down system of affairs the entire year. Nobody really knows what to think. Nobody really knows what to do with the LA Life in Madden 02. The LA Life, if you are just joining me and you've never seen one of these games, one of the very long running... Garn's missing the tackle. That's a bad way to start your game out. That's just not a good way at all. All right, 3 consecutive missed tackles. Generally not a good way to start out. This, Madden 2002, when you create a team, unlike in 2003, where in 2002 you have to just basically transplant the players from one already existing team to your created team. This team was created almost entirely at random, randomly picked the city, I believe, absolutely randomly picked the name. It was literally just I went to a random word generator and clicked until I got an L word. The L word would have been also an acceptable... or what did I do? I randomly picked the letter, and then I randomly picked the word, I think was what I ended up doing. So, regardless, we ended up 9-7 here in the playoffs. Somehow here in the playoffs. I'm actually kind of surprised. We were looking... The losses we have, if you go back and watch those, are really bad. And I mean, like, there are bad losses, and there are bad losses. The ones that we had to Minnesota and to Kansas City, I mean, we were just hopeless at certain points. Even Seattle, 2 weeks ago, was bad. And we, being myself and the fictional team... I will not pretend that I'm not delusional here, because I am. But we did make the playoffs. We have made the playoffs for the first time in the team's history. This being the first year. It's effectively the New York Giants. I randomly picked a team to transplant all the players from, and they were the team that came up. All right, we got them to a 4th down. That's good. So we're just kind of looking at, okay, well, it's good that after a return like that, and them being statistically a better team in every category, it's good to get them only to kick a field goal on their first drive. Now, what we need to do here against a great pass defense, a famously great pass defense, is score some points. Really score any points on this first drive. This theoretically will either be a defensive slugfest, a high-powered offensive explosion, or I will get completely wiped out, just depending on how the team wants to play. The biggest issue with this team the entire year, and just in this game in general, which has really kind of soured my opinion of this game, is that you will have open... Also, I traded for Michael Vick at one point. You'll have open receivers just drop balls about a distressingly high number of times. So, okay, that was an overthrown ball right there. That was bad. All right, Tiki Barber goes nowhere, as he often does in playoff games. And right now we're looking at a 3rd and 8. What has worked this entire season has been just the deep ball and just trying to find one-on-one coverage, which I think we might have with Hilliard on the outside there. Our best receiver is lined up kind of at the slot. Oh, God, get to that. Yes! All right. That's like the first time the dive and catch has worked almost the entire year, which is a good sign for the rest of the game. Getting them to a... Oh, it's Tony Dungy, by the way. Is it? Right, yes. Oh, that was back when Tony Dungy was with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers before John Gruden took over. So they fired Dungy, then traded for Gruden, who ended up going to the from the Raiders to the Buccaneers, who ended up taking the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl, where they played the Oakland Raiders, a team that he had basically designed. So. All right, well, that's unfortunate. I did experiment with Ron Dane a couple of weeks into the season. Longtime viewers will know this. And he didn't do all that much better than Tiki did. I might put him back in if Tiki continues to just kind of get tripped up at the line. Dane was a little bit better at not being brought down at the line as much. Oh, Vic's got some running room. Oh, Vic might have a touchdown, and he does. That is why you have Michael Vick on the team. That's why you trade Kerry Collins for Michael Vick when Kerry Collins is statistically a better player. Or not, I mean, ratings-wise a better player. You get long stretches of yards like that, you get mobility like that, and you get into the end zone like that. We open up with an early lead. Very rarely do I get to say that. That's one of the first times I've scored on an opening drive in a while, actually. So that is a good way to start the game out. Taking it right to the Buccaneers defense and their pass coverage. They were a little conservative on the pass. There was a good block, and you just take off around the outside. I don't know why. Do not know why I said take off like that, with like a weird German accent. Of course, this will either be the last episode of the Madden 2002 series. If we lose, if we win, or it might not. I'll see how I feel next. Oh, come on, going to the end zone. Yeah. See, we're getting breaks this first half. We're getting breaks. Stuff's going good for us. All right. So the 4-3 ended up working a little bit better at the end of that drive. That last one, we were kind of stopping them before they could get a first down. We pin him back a little bit further than we did. A lot further back than we did in the first one. And get to him, Thomas. All right. And work done, just hard to bring down. Let's run a blitz here. So the hard hitters on our defense all season have really been Jesse Armstead in the linebacking core. Of course, Strahan has. I used to earlier in the season said stuff about Jason's Not Jason Sehorn. Michael Strahan, where he was not, really producing as much as the actual real life counterpart did, and then he kind of, later in the season was starting to get more and more sacks. Now Sam Garnes, I believe is his name, ended up being better as the season wore on. He had that big interception return for the touchdown against Arizona. Ended up being one of the better players, as the season ran on. We are playing on the GameCube edition, if anyone is wondering. Everybody knows this already. I'm just gonna run the rest of this episode like you've been watching. I think I've got everybody about caught up. I have not written down any of the standard 5-topic thing I do on these sorts of series about actual real-life sports issues because I want to be focused on winning in this game. This is the first, I believe, if I go back in my entire history of playing video games, I do not think I've ever won a Madden playoff game. I've won the Super Bowl, in Tecmo Super Bowl and in ESPN NFL 2K5, but just in my entire, anthology of my entire life in the story of me playing video games, I do not think that I have ever once won an actual playoff game in Madden, in any Madden game. That includes, recent, that includes older, that includes, even like 97 and 95. Or I don't know that I ever got on any of the Genesis ones, but I played I don't know how far I played in the one on the N64. It would have been like 99 or 2000. But I don't think I've ever, Madden 2003, for instance, last year when I was starting up the Monday update, it's one of the first, it was back when it was the Sunday update on countrichtertoffen.blogspot.com, back before the joebush.net we all know and love today and appreciate. It was back January of 2014 when I was first starting. Actually, I don't like the halfback screen here. I kind of picked that on a whim. Let's run the ball. Let's see what happens when we run the ball. And, are we tripped up at the line? We are tripped up at the line because there's not great blocking just in this game in general. I don't think anybody's actually watching on Twitch right now, but in case you are, thank you for watching. In case you aren't, whatever. I didn't mean to load that. Whatever. So, 2nd and 8. We're going to go to Barber again. And if Barber can't... now, that's Camella's deal. Oh, that might be a face mask. That is. Derek Burke was... Oh, okay. I thought that said rookie. And I was like, he was not a rookie in 2001. But... all right. Okay. So, 3rd and 7. I'm just going to do whatever I want. It tends to be the good decision. You'd think this would be a passing situation, which is why I'm going to scare you with the run, Pat Summerall. I don't really see anything in the defense. I just want to make sure that the one guy who's most likely to get open is actually open. Catch that! And Amani Toomer drops it. So that's something you say a lot in this game. If you get the ball to Amani Toomer, he's going to drop it. He apparently just should not be playing on an NFL team. I don't know what the problem is. He's, Johnny Land Jones or whoever out there. That's an old-ass reference. Johnny Lamb Jones used to play for the New York Jets, and he was an Olympic track sprinter who got, signed to an NFL contract as a wide receiver because he was so fast. But they figured out, just having the skill of a sprinter doesn't really mean you're going to be able to catch the ball at all, and he really couldn't. He was, just not a good receiver. He's one of the worst draft busts in history. Oh, that was a sack right there. I forget who that was. I couldn't tell who that was, but there was a sack. That was a good breakdown on the defensive line of the offensive line. Is that a strategy we can use? Just kind of shift around and around before the play starts? Oh, that's bad. Hey, who is that? 31. Is that Sehorn? Seahorn has generally been good. There have been Seahorn mistakes. There have been Seahorn getting beat out by guys, instances, but on the grand scheme of things, Jason Seahorn has been satisfactory. There we go. All right. Brad Johnson couldn't get the ball out. That's a good thing. We're going to go for the punt block here because generally they try to move guys in on these, and sometimes it just works better as an actual punt return. Sometimes it doesn't. They don't have as much of like a punt coverage team sometimes. Now, if it's good enough in terms of hang time, sometimes doesn't end up mattering, like there. But I did get more yards than I would have if I had gone with the regular one because I would have had a fair catch on it. Because their punter is good enough to be able to do that. Does anybody play both kicker and punter anymore? I don't really know. It's just my own musing. Is that Jurevicius? Alright, we got him running out there. Hilliard's probably going to be covered then. At the end of the day, get that Joe. There we go. Alright, Joe Jurevicius holding on to the ball. I like pinched a nerve in my finger there. I can't feel anything. But that's weird. That's just from how hard I threw that ball with the left button, the L button. It's more of like an L. It's not really a trigger because it goes down halfway. The GameCube's buttons are weird in that way. The triggers like don't go down all the way. There's like a certain amount of analog you have with it until there's just like a crunch and then it's just down. Which helped in, let me think, SSX, tricky, and, I don't want to really do that. Let's just go, yeah, 2nd and inches is the time to really try a deep bomb, or we'll get the 2-minute warning. All right. I do not rescind what I just said. 2nd and inches is the time to go for a deep bomb. And Mr. Deep Bomb today is Cross, who will make the catch. People are coming up with catches. Oh, no. And Vic's down. So that spells less than good for the LA life here. Jason Garrett coming in to kind of back cleanup. And so we need a touchdown on this drive to kind of stave off the inevitable Buccaneer attack. Oh, that was a well-delivered ball by Jason Garrett. Oh, wow. That was almost perfect. That was about as good as that play could have gone. Wow. I mean, he was right there. Right there for it. I'm impressed by that. By my fake player. He's going to do a little Twitch magic right there and switch it to Madden NFL 15. Okay, no, it wouldn't work. Just trying to squeeze any more viewers out of whatever illicit means I could. I don't know why I legitimately put it at Madden 2002. Because nobody's going down the list like, I want to play Madden 2002 today, except for me. When I'll go all the way down, like, is somebody really getting 56 viewers on Qbert? Yeah, somebody's getting really 56 viewers on Qbert. It cost me $4.99 to subscribe to him on Twitch. That's what I don't like about Twitch, is that everybody's doing everything. Every market is already covered. That's why Hitbox is the way to go, because nobody's on Hitbox. The only people on Hitbox are streaming. So it's just a bunch of people, it's kind of a bunch of people with megaphones standing over a canyon yelling endlessly to nobody. Alright, the key here is, oh, that's not what I want to do. I want to make sure that they do not get enough of a, I don't want them to get gaps open downfield. They have 2 minutes, so I want to pressure them, but I don't want to let them get big gains. Are really what will kill me here. When they have time, but they don't have that much time, you know. Oh, maybe I should pressure them a little bit more. Gut blitz here. Play that sometimes works. Gut blitz. Also, kind of flipping the line around seems to have worked recently. I don't know if Barrow's actually blitzing, but I'm going to be blitzing with him. Ah! Hey, there we go. That was a good knockdown by whoever that was, number 36. He was, Mr. Madden. He was in a great position to make that play. So now here we have it, 2nd and 10. The issue with trying to get him not to get to the end zone is that they're going to be passing so much. And so the clock is consistently going to stop. And who was that? Was that Strahan getting to him with the sack? That was Strahan getting to him with the sack. Classic arms flailing, chest right in his face sack. The one you always want to... The best type of sack, really. And, oh, he's got time and he's got Keyshawn. That's not good. Ah. Get that slant route. Brad Johnson apparently deemed Pro Bowl in 2001. Why was I doing that? Ah, man. That was just perfect. That was like a Jason Garrett ball right there is what that was. So what are we going to do now? I think I might just try to pressure him a little bit more. Because if that happens, you know, it might force him to either throw a bad pass or run more off the clock than he really wants to. Because I will remind you, I do get the ball back at the beginning of the next half. And defensively, I've been able to stop him for most of the game. So what that means, effectively, is if I can get to the half up by a couple of points, then I'll be golden. Oh, get him. There we go. Sam Garnes, good open field tackle. I should make sure that's actually his name. Hold on. Where's my LB? Brandon Short. Where the hell is Barnes? Oh, there we go. Sam Garnes. Sorry, Sam Garnes. Sam Barnes was a person I knew, I think, actually. So shout out to him if you're still there. Around. Alright, so Jesse Armstead going to be rushing up the center. What I hope they don't do, and what inevitably is going to happen, is there's going to be just a pass over the middle. Allstott couldn't get the first down, and it is 4th and 1. Looks like we have forced them into a field goal situation. Hoping we can get the classic Martin Gramatica botch snap and then attempt to forward the ball on a pass. That ended up happening in the Super Bowl that year. Legendary reference. Kind of like Garo Yepremian. Super Bowl, what was that, 7? 1972? 6, maybe? 7? Hold on. Would have been... Yeah. And that's up, that's good. Okay. And... Huh. Alright. Anyway, here we are. Only up by 11, but still winning by double digits, which is a good thing. We're going to make sure that we get the ball here. And I'm going to take it out, just sort of see what happens. Go up to the 24, not terrible. And we're going to do the typical thing, you know. What do you got to do in a situation like this? You got to just kind of chuck it deep. Hope you find somebody running and just hope it works. I'm going to move Jurevicius as the decoy to get people away from Hilliard's side of the field. Oh, that worked beautifully. Damn it! Play clock ran out. That's what happens sometimes when your play is too genius. So anyway, since the aliens inevitably heard me, the robots controlling the console, that worked again. Hilliard might be one-on-one here. The only issue is that Camella is... that ref is in good coverage there, but Camella wasn't blocking on that play, which is not good for my... for my desire of not getting pressured into making a bad throw, which is exactly what happened there. So... let's, again, move Jurevicius over, which surprisingly doesn't fool any of them. Not even one person moved there, so he'll be the one going downfield, I guess. Oh, that was terrible. Get it, Joe? Alright, anyway, that's the end. I didn't really expect anything there. That was just a little bit of tactical work on something that cannot be done tactically. We are done with the first half, up 14-6. I'm going to go just post this on Twitter to just kind of gloat. Alright, anyway. Also, my phone has been playing a podcast for like the past 10 minutes. That's not good. Ridiculous. This is gonna hurt my YouTube credibility when there's like a gap in the middle of my my video of me just typing on a computer off screen. I'm not even on a video right now because if anybody remembers the last time I streamed something, it really didn't work. It was the Mario 64 stream, which everybody may have recognized as a success for about 10 minutes, and then my computer couldn't really handle it, and it became an immense failure. So if that's what happens, this will be a two-part video. As of right now, it'll be a one-part video on YouTube. And if it does end up becoming a two-part video, I'll have to, restart my computer and make sure it's all working properly. Seems like it's doing okay now. The frame rate isn't perfect, which is kind of what I expect from open broadcasting software. I don't really have any viewers on Twitch, though. Maybe this would be a good time to put this into a second video part. I'll upload the first part on YouTube, and then the second part will also be uploaded on YouTube. I think that'll be what happens. Oh, that was terrible. That was a bad decision, Joe. Alright. Well, let's end this drive, and I guess say goodbye to the stream, unfortunately, due to what we'll designate as, let's call it, apathy. Alright, on this play, I'm going to go probably to Cross, or maybe to, if that's Kamela coming out of the backfield, I might go to him. Not to Toomer, though, because Toomer cannot be trusted, even if he's open. Toomer is open. We're going to Toomer, and he cannot be trusted. Never trust Amani Toomer with the ball. It's 4th and 4. I'm going to start a different video up, a more high-quality video. So I will see you guys in the next video here. I know it's kind of a weird place to cut, but actually not all that much different from where I cut last week. So here we are. I will